My name is Molly, and I applied for my father, who is 81 years old and had a stroke, which has confined him to a wheelchair 10 years ago. And he's been living at home for the last 10 years, but it became necessary for us to put him in a nursing home. So I was his main caretaker. I also took care of his money, paid his bills, and then would get reimbursed and all those things. He just got to a place where he was getting weaker and he had taken a fall. Fortunately, he hadn't gotten hurt, but he had taken a fall, and it made it necessary for us to look into putting him in the home. And at the time, Dad had a little bit of money, but not enough to pay for nursing care. And so I got really scared because he had more money than what would have made him eligible for Medicaid. Plus, there had been a couple homes that were sold over the last few years. And plus, the way I handled his money was I paid things and then transferred money into my account. Just a lot of complicated issues that I knew if I tried to go apply for Medicaid myself, and I didn't know all the rules about spending down the account and what was eligible, what wasn't, all those things that you read about and all the horror stories. And I didn't even know where to begin. And when I heard back from the representative from elder care and they walked me through, what they know and how they know to do it and how they would support me in the process, and I already had a certain amount of money in Dad's account that we had to spend down, and they told me that that was an eligible expense. And so to me, it was a no-brainer to get them started and just have that whole weight fall off of me, knowing that they know what they're doing, they will tell me what they need, and I could somewhat relax while they took us through the process. They got a hold of me, we had our first meeting, and then they sent me documentation. Here's what we need, gather these things for us. So that was probably the worst part, but really it wasn't that bad, right? I had to get 5 years worth of bank statements, but I had access to all that. I had to dig up like his will and all the other paperwork that they needed to put together our case. The main thing I loved is they knew about everything. I mean, this is what they do. They do Medicaid applications, so they knew everything. Honestly, the whole process I think went quicker than she had even told me it might take, because she said they warned me up front it could get denied the first time, but we know how to do that. We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. And I loved that they assured me the whole time that they would not be done. It was one fee. I paid one fee, but they were not going to be done with me until he was approved for Medicaid. So that was really comforting for somebody it's hard enough to have to put your parent or loved one in a nursing home, but then I did talk to a coworker who was going through a similar thing with her mother, but she was trying to do the Medicaid process herself and still not on Medicaid, still does not have her mother in a nursing home. So, to me, I would highly recommend the resource to anybody that's trying to do this for their loved one. It just took such a weight off my shoulders, what I needed to do for my father.